So let's see how we can add motion effects to our text in Motion. In order to add the motion effects to our text, we will be working with keyframes. And working with keyframes in Motion has absolutely the same principle as the working with keyframes in Final Cut, with the only difference is that we will have to use this record button. Once we create the first keyframe for the parameter that we want to change, we will need to press this record button in order to record all other changes that we will apply to this parameter. And the Motion automatically will create our further keyframes. So let's create a basic motion effect. Let's add it to this text. As you remember, we have some motion effect applied to the text, and I want my the motion effect applied to the image, and I want my text to move together with the image. So here, when the image stops moving, let's define the final position I want my text to take. Let's say that I want it to end up somewhere here. So, as what I'm going to change is the center position, center parameter. In Motion it's called position. In order to create the keyframe, I would need to press here to open the menu here in this button, and here in the menu I have the option Add Keyframe. Once it's been added, this little dash is turning into the point, into the dot, so that indicates that here I have a keyframe. And afterwards, what I have to do is to press the record button. Now, while I'm moving along my timeline and changing the position of my text, the new keyframes will be created automatically. Let's say I want it to start here. And it will end up here. So if we press play, my text is moving together with my image. Now I can press the record button again, and Motion won't be creating new keyframes for this parameter. But except creating the motion effects, adding, like making my text to move, I can also keyframe the parameters related to the proper text. For example, what I would like to do is to make it change its gradient while it's moving from one position to another. For example, the text with the colors that we have of the gradient, the text is rather like it could be read easily at this position, although here it's getting a little bit lost. So here I want to change the my parameters for gradient So it would start with different colors, but I want it to end up with these colors. So what I need to do is first to create the keyframes for gradient parameters of the text. For this I will go to Text tab, Style, and here I will open the menu for the gradient parameter, and I will add keyframe for that. So as you can see, our dash turned into the dot. So we have the keyframe for the gradient. And now we will go back to the initial position. We will press the record button again. And now what we'll have to do is to change the colors for our gradient. Let's say I wanted to start with blue and to end with more reddish, and now I want them more saturated, and this I will make it a little bit more red to make it more dramatic, and here I will change the saturation of the blue too. And maybe we can make it lighter. Well, let's do something like this. Okay, so now I will press the record button again, and let's see what happens if we press the play button. My text is moving, but moreover, while it's moving, it's changed its colors. And when it reaches its final position, the gradient colors has changed. There is another way of adding motion effects, either to text or to other clips. And in Motion we have this add behavior concept. If I select my text track and I open the Add Behavior menu, behaviors are the pre-made motion effects that we have in Motion, and we can apply them to our clips. Most of them, we can apply them to both to text and to the normal video clips, but there are certain behaviors made specifically for text, and there are plenty of them. We can spend a lot of time playing with them and figuring out what each of them do. Let's just try one of them. For example, let's say illusion out. Now let's see what happens. Motion created an additional track. This is the behavior track. Unfortunately, it created it from the beginning of my timeline, so let's see what happens. It makes my text disappear, but then afterwards it appears again. Let's say that I want the text disappear after it reaches the final position, then afterwards I want it to disappear. So if I don't want it to appear again, I will need to cut my text track. So now let's see what happens. The effect is applied in order to make the text disappear. If I don't like this one, I can apply another one. Let's see how this one works. It's a little bit slow. If I want it to be faster, I can make the behavior track shorter. Then I will need to shorten the text track too. Or I can make it even faster. Okay. Just need to fine-tune it a little bit to ensure that the text track is no longer than the behavior track. And that's all. So let's see it again from the beginning. Okay, and that's all. As you can see, working with behaviors is very easy, and it is a very easy way of adding motion effects to our video.